What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. False Black Bear here. Today we got to talk about the corner that Arrowhead has backed themselves up into. In the background here, you are just going to be watching me farm on level 1 because, well, to be honest, there's kind of quite literally nothing else to do in this game other than farm for super credits and medals on very low levels. Anytime a warbond comes out, this is what you do. There's no other progression in the game. I don't care what you say, there isn't. So, major orders are, I would say, low end, 50% rigged. Either they make them easier for us to win, or they change the stats and numbers at the very last second for us to lose. It just doesn't feel very good, so there's really no point to engage in major orders. And now that, I mean, with this new warbond coming out, they've essentially told us without telling us that nothing else in the future is going to ever be tied to major orders, which is weird because they want people to play their game. And now with the new medal system where you have to log in order to get the rewards of a successful MO, it seems like they want to get their player numbers up, but they're not doing anything to get their player numbers up. Give us something to fight for. Give us actual progression, because after level 20 or 25, there's literally no reason to continue ranking up. You have everything unlocked outside of getting to level 100 or 120 or 150, and you get that tiny little banner in the corner that literally nobody ever sees outside of you. There's no progression in this game. You know, they need to add things like killing 100 Bile Titans will get you this, or killing 10 Hive Lords will get you this, or killing 1,000 Hulks will get you this. That will keep players around. Right now, there's quite literally nothing. So enjoy this terribly boring background as I kind of just rant for the next however many minutes. So getting into the new warbond, they did recently, like in the last day, I want to say, acknowledge that they are going to buff the mechs, which there was really only two scenarios. Either they were or they weren't, but it really, I mean, the community is already pissed. The community is already pissed because you're putting things that used to be free now behind a paywall. Oh, but you can farm super credits. Yeah, but you're just grinding on level 1, and there's no fun in that. We have all the currencies in the game. Yeah, but how is that fun? Just grinding for currency to just pay for the next thing, in which you have to just grind more currency. Okay? Yeah, I grind super credits, but then you grind super credits to have access to a warbond, but then you have to grind more currency, aka medals, to unlock said shit in the warbond. And let's be real, half of it is shit, and that you're forced to buy this fucking shit in the warbond, which is retarded, by the way, absolutely retarded. I bought the warbond. Let me access any part of the warbond that I want. What is, I mean, why are they gatekeeping things? Oh, you have to spend 90 medals to get to page 2. And now you've got to spend 87 medals to get to page 3. Why? How come I just can't go to page 3 and unlock the cool shit? I mean, you're now literally gatekeeping fun. I mean, you are quite literally keeping people from having fun. You're just prolonging that experience. And why? For what? I bought the warbond. Whether I grinded for hours or I just gave you money. But who cares? Let me access it. Because half the time I'm buying shit that I don't want to buy. I'm buying armors with passives that are fucking dumb. I'm buying capes that I'm never going to wear. Banners I'm never going to wear. Half the guns I'm never going to use. It's so stupid. I mean, this is like you buying a house from a realtor, but they tell you you can't go into the kitchen until you fully furnish the living room.
There's something here.
That is fucking retarded. That is fucking retarded. Okay? It's so dumb. That needs to be fixed. Okay? But getting back to the war bond, kind of went on a tangent there. Getting back to the war bond, okay, you're going to buff the mechs. After you greatly nerf them back in February of this year, when you gave all of the enemies 300% more durable damage. You gave all these enemies more durable damage, which not only made the mechs feel like wet cardboard, but it affected the ballistic shield. It affected all the sentries, and for what? For what? I mean, a 300% increase in durable damage? So either the game was completely broken before, or it's completely broken now. It's one or the other. It was either completely broken before, and you had to buff it by 300%, or now it's completely broken, and now everything is 300% stronger when there's no reason for it to be. And so now they're buffing the mechs. Great. We've only been asking for this for weeks and weeks and months at this point, but it's behind a fucking paywall. Cool. I mean, what are we talking about here? You know, what are we talking about here? It's so stupid. So now the mechs are going to be powerful. Okay. Or maybe more powerful. I guess it depends on how much they buff everything. But, you know, I mean, okay, are they just going to buff the mechs in the Warbond? Are they going to buff the mechs that didn't come in the Warbond? You know, I'm curious. I mean, do we really know? And are these buffs going to affect the other things that were affected by the, you know, the nerf, or I guess I should say the buff to enemy durable damage, right? Are we gonna, I mean, is the ballistic shield gonna feel better? Are sentries gonna feel better? Because some of the sentries, especially like the flame sentry, oh my god, dude, that thing takes 3 hits from any enemy and that thing's dead. So it just feels bad. This Warbond is a lose-lose. You're already putting stuff in the game behind a paywall that used to be free, and now you're, once again, you're upgrading things in the game that you nerfed, but you're putting it behind a paywall, right? Oh, ragdolling is super bad. We made ragdolling feel like shit. Oh, here's an armor set that you're less likely to be ragdolled in. Fuck you, Arrowhead. Oh, we made chest hemorrhaging kill you in 0.0003 seconds. Oh, here's an armor set that helps mitigate that. You, Arrowhead. And now, oh, we, Arrowhead, are going to nerf the mechs to a point where they literally get shot down before your Pelican can even drop it on the ground. And they literally explode before you can even use them. They did that. Oh, sorry guys that we did that, and sorry the player experience has been dog doo-doo for the past several months. Here's a fix behind a paywall. This is garbage. This is garbage. And can you imagine? Oh, I can't even imagine Arrowhead only buffing the mechs in the Warbond and not buffing the mechs out. Could you even I think if they do that, which I don't think they will, but also Arrowhead are a bunch of fucking tardies, the game will die. If they make the buffed mechs part of the Warbond and they don't affect the Patriot Exosuit or the Emancipator, oh boy. We already know that the Lumberer is pre-nerfed, and I'm guessing they're going to pre-nerf the Lumberer so that they could sell us the solution later on. Just watch. The Lumberer in HD1 had a stratagem launcher. Right now, based on that trailer, there is no stratagem launcher. There's no stratagem launcher. So either we're getting a pre-nerfed Lumberer that is quite literally worse than the one that we had in the game that took place 100 years before the time in this game, or they're going to sell it to us in a later war bond or maybe in the superstore. We still don't know what's in the superstore. And for the past several launches of war bonds, all the good shit is in the superstore. The best armors are in the superstore, right? We had the medium siege-ready armor. That was a superstore item. We had the entrenchment, the one that was extra padding, but it gave you 50% resistance to explosive. That is arguably the best, armor in the game when it comes to survivability. What else have we gotten in the war bond? The big old machete sword that has the most damage of any other melee weapon in the game. Okay. I mean, okay. Like, what's going on here? And then we've got the sweeper, the gun I'm using in this footage here. The sweeper was in the store. And what else was in the store? The double freedom was in the store. Oh, are we noticing a pattern yet? Are we noticing a pattern yet here, people? The best armors, the best shit, weapons, whatever, are all in the superstore. So it's not going to surprise me if the stratagem launcher, which we have all been asking for years at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if that is in the superstore. And you're going to have to give them 1,000 super credits, and then you're going to have to give them hundreds and hundreds of medals to unlock the mechs, and then you're going to have to pay even more super credits, because Arrowhead are a bunch of greedy, I don't know if I can say it, it rhymes with stunts, blunts, and runts, okay? They're a bunch of greedy those people, and yeah, I could honestly see that happening, but going back to them backing themselves into a corner, nothing that they can do outside of giving us this war bond for free is going to produce goodwill with the community. We're already pissed because we wanted these mechs tied to progression or tied to an MO. They are not. We wanted weapon customization and mech customization. That's not happening. We wanted mechs to be stronger. Oh, they are stronger behind a paid war bond now. So we're only getting buffed mechs because they're releasing a mech war bond, and it would be a complete fucking disaster if they released this quote-unquote mech war bond with paper-thin mechs. Which, by the way, this war bond is slop. Exo experts, all we're getting is 2 exosuits. We're getting armor that makes you faster when you're not in an exosuit. We're getting a machine gun, which, by the way, in HD1, that bullet storm was medium armor pen, and it had 300 rounds. So if this does not have 300 rounds, and if it's not medium armor pen, if there's any type of nerf in any way, it's going to be complete dog shit. So we have that, which has nothing to do with mechs. We have the missile pistol, aka the pistol, which is just kind of like a homing grenade launcher. Kind of. Okay, what does that have to do with mechs? Nothing. Alright, the slightly slower firing, slightly smaller mag size knight. Okay, that probably nobody's going to use. It's most likely going to be dead on arrival, especially if it's two-handed like the Reprimand, which is the only other medium armor pen assault rifle in the game, which is two-handed. Is anybody going to use that? No. And what does that have to do with mechs? The last few war bonds have actually been, like, incredible when it comes to a theme. This has no theme. I mean, there's no, there's no identity to it. Ooh, 2 mechs. Okay. 2 mechs that we're not going to be able to customize and are probably going to be underwhelming because Arrowhead doesn't know how to make a fun game. So, that's my rant. Let's have a conversation down below. Honestly, like, there is so much that they could do to this game when it comes to bringing players back. You know, I mean, the grind is so much. My buddy, me and him used to play all the time, you know, and he quit after a few months, and now it's just daunting. He comes back and he's looking at the investment per war bond, you know, like I told him to get the war bond with the warp pack because it's super cool, right? It's like, but he did the math. He's an accountant, super smart guy. And he was like, oh yeah, like I'm probably going to have to grind for anywhere from like 8 to 10 hours if he's by himself to unlock everything in one war bond. And he's like, yeah, I don't have that time. He's got 3 kids. He's like, yeah, I don't have 200 hours to invest in a game to grind for stuff. And then he's also not going to spend $200 on a game that was already $40 to unlock the stuff, which, by the way, he would still have to grind for medals, so that's just cutting out maybe, you know, 2, 3, 4 hours per war bond grinding for the super credits. So it's just a daunting task. And what I think Arrowhead needs to do is, well, one, to make the game more interesting, you got to tie stuff to MOs. You also need to maybe once or twice a month have like a double medal weekend where no matter what you play, whether it's the major order or not, whether it's level 1 or level 10, you get double the medals. That could be something cool, and you know, it would give people an incentive to come back. I think they should also do surges every weekend. Hey, we have a stalker surge. We have a hunter surge. We've got a charger surge. We've got a Hulk surge. A tank surge. Tanks are essentially non-existent in this game anymore since they, you know, brought in the stupid War Striders. Tanks basically are an endangered species at this point. Like, I like playing on level 10. Like, I might see 3 tanks a match, maybe. And I'm like, tanks are probably the best designed enemy in the game, in my opinion. I mean, outside of maybe like the Stingrays, but the tanks are amazing. I love playing the tanks. I would rather come across 100 tanks than 3 War Striders. I swear to God. War Striders are not fun, and they literally break the game. I'm on PlayStation 5. If I have 2 War Striders shooting grenades at me, my audio cuts out. It's almost guaranteed. It probably happens 75 to 80% of the time. It's terrible. So, you know, outside of that though, I think any war bond that is 3 months or older should have, I would say, should be getting like 50% off discount. So everything in that war bond should be 50% off. Not the war bond itself. I think war bond should still, you know, cost 1,000 super credits or 10 real dollars, but to make it more appetizing for people to, you know, engage in the grind after 3 months, I think that's fair, right? Because you make it more enticing, right? You make it more enticing for these people. It's not as, you know, high of an entry level to get in, you know, and to invest in some of this stuff. So it'll entice them more, and it'll just make things easier to get, which the easier you can get stuff, the more fun it's going to be, and the more fun you can start having. So if they kind of do this stuff and implement this stuff in the game, it's going to bring a lot of players back on top of weapon customization and mech customization and all these other things. But it's so easy. Honestly, it's so easy. I feel like, you know, if these idiots over at Arrowhead would just dedicate, like, if they're competent, they're making, you know, $80,000 to $100,000 a year, if not more. You should be competent enough to fix some of these things. This game is on the precipice of being phenomenal. A game that no other studio has ever created, and a game that potentially no other studio could compete against. They are so close. They could literally fix most of the shit in this game within a matter of a few weeks, maybe a month or 2 at most. At most. But they don't. Why? I don't know why. I don't know why. I literally can't tell you why. But that's my rant. You know, maybe I had some good ideas, maybe I had some shit ideas. I know I swore a lot, but I swear because I have passion for this game. Right? I checked right before this. I have like 1,019 hours in this game. I have dedicated days and days and days and days and days and days and days playing this game. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't have dedicated that much time. I want to put another 1,019 hours in this game. But at this point, I don't know if I can because they're making terrible decisions. That's the end of my rant. I'll see you guys on the next one.